Hello everyone, my name is Gina and today's video is going to be over Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. So first let me say that yes, I did go out and pick this book up and read it because it is becoming a movie soon. However, I have been wanting to read it for a while. I have seen it around on BookTube and I've seen people talking about it and it's always kind of intrigued me. I just never really felt like buying it and didn't really feel like reading it. I'm not entirely too sure why. I think a lot of it is because I didn't really know what it was about and I didn't want to commit to reading it without actually knowing what the story was and kind of what it was about. Yeah, I already said that. But anyway, I finally picked it up and I finally read it, and yes, it is because of the movie trailer, like I said, because the movie trailer looks amazing and the book was just as amazing as the trailer, and I'm so excited for the movie now. So if you don't know, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl is the story of Greg Gaines's senior year in high school. It is told through his point of view, and it basically follows how he has manipulated the high school system and he has flown under the radar, and he kind of fits in with everybody, like he's really friendly towards everybody, but he doesn't really have many friends. However, his best friend, Earl, is more of his co-worker. He doesn't like using the term friend because he, like I said, he likes to stay under the radar. But Greg and Earl make films, and the films that they make are horrible films and they don't really like them. But basically what they do is they take a film that they really love, they change the title and redo it themselves. So they're basically making parodies of their favorite movies, which is kind of awesome. So in their senior year, Greg's mom forces him to reach out to this girl and become friends with her. She knows that he knew her when they were younger and that they were friends at one point in time, but she doesn't really understand that he hasn't really talked to her in forever. So he goes through this really elaborate calling her all the time, trying to hang out with her, and eventually she agrees and they do end up becoming friends. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads and it was just really good. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. It is not your typical YA novel. Now when I say your typical YA novel, I'm talking the typical female protagonist who ends up falling in love with a guy and there's some background love story going on with whatever the actual main story is, and it's just, you see that in a lot of YA books. However, this isn't that case. There is no romance in it, and Greg makes sure to tell you multiple times that no, this isn't your typical YA novel, this isn't your typical book, this isn't your typical story. I did not fall in love with her. Like, this is not a love story. This is just the story of how my life changed. And that's what it is. It's the story of how his life changed drastically his senior year of high school. A lot of this book is written in like script format, as you can see, because as I said, Greg and Earl are filmmakers and it is being told in the point of view of Greg. So he goes through and talks about how I'm more of a film person. I don't know really how to write a book, but I'm writing this anyway because I feel like the story needs to be told. So there's a lot of scenes in it where it's just easier for him to portray them in a film-like standing instead of just describing everything that happened. So I really liked that aspect of the book, and it was well done and pretty great. Because instead of having a novel go through and have 400 pages and have a lot of pointless descriptions and words just to fill out a page count, instead, with things that weren't necessarily too important to the book, he just went through and scripted it, and it was a different take on a book, and I really enjoyed it. I've seen some reviews on Goodreads that have kind of put down the relatability of this character and of the book, and like that's the reason why they didn't enjoy it as much as other people have, but I actually found Greg to be quite relatable. A set group of people, like you have the jocks, you have the rich kids, you have the goths, you have the theater kids, and he goes through all these different groups and he's like, I really don't fit in with any of them, but I try to fit in with all of them. So In a way, it was really relatable because I try to get along with everybody and I try to fit in wherever I am, whether that be with the theater kids because I was a theater kid for a while, with the band kids because I was a band kid for a while. I also like hockey, so I can get along well with people who enjoy hockey at least. Other sports, not so much, but you get the idea. So in that aspect, I do think he was relatable. Other aspects of the characters that I really liked, I liked the sense of humor that was in it. Yes, Greg does end up using self-deprecating humor, which basically you're just taking stabs at yourself. A lot of great comedians do self-deprecating humor, and because they can make fun of themselves, that's what makes them funny. It makes uncomfortable situations more comfortable. And Greg uses a lot of self-deprecating humor when he's trying to cheer up Rachel, and it was just really well done. You also get a sense that Greg isn't too confident in himself, which is why he flies under the radar and doesn't really have many friends, but he portrays it perfectly. Like, it is just written so well that you understand kind of where he's coming from. At least I did. With Rachel, I just think it was great, the story, and how it's not your typical cancer story and it's not your typical YA, oh, we fell in love and everything was fine story. I really like how Rachel was written because while you get the sense that the story might be turning into a love story because that's typically what YA novels do, it doesn't. They stay strictly friends, and it's between a friend with Greg trying to cheer her up when she's sick. And really the last thing that I kind of want to say about this book is look at the cover. Like, I love this cover. And it continues onto the spine with all the different colors, and it continues to the back with all the different colors. Like, it's just really bright and colorful, which is one of the first things that kind of drew my attention to the book. Again, I don't know why it took me to seeing the movie trailer to pick it up. I think I just really wasn't feeling it, and I don't know. But the cover is just gorgeous, and I am really glad that I have this book now. So that's really all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have read Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on it are. Did you like it? Did you kind of like it? Did you not like it at all? I'd really love to know. So yes, definitely leave a comment below if you have read it, if you're planning on reading it, if you haven't read it, have you seen the movie trailer, and does that make you want to read it? Because that is definitely the case for me, because I wasn't really too into it. Like, I just didn't want to read it, but then I saw the movie trailer and the movie trailer looked awesome, so I did want to read it. And apparently Jessie Andrews, the author of this book, did write the screenplay for the movie, so you know that it is going to be a great movie. So again, thank you so much for watching. As always, links to everything in the description below. I will also leave the Goodreads link to Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, so be sure to check it out if you have not read this book yet, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!